And it should benefit, by the way, from what's going on in that marketplace. San Antonio homes for sale. Okay. Remember, supply, demand, and ability. Okay. We're talking about the housing bubble, how this is different. A housing bubble is typically characterized by a significant spike in home prices that is not related to other economic fluctuations or fundamentals, like the labor market. Well, we actually have wages going up. So if wages are going up for the first time because of inflation, people could actually supposedly afford more. But all of a sudden you get to a marketplace where there's nobody selling. If there's nobody selling, guess what? Okay, I'm a seller at some price. I don't want to sell my house, but if you offered me 40 million, 41, 42 million today to sell my house in Golden Beach, I'd be like, man, maybe I'm tempted. You understand? Supply, demand, and can somebody pay 42 million for my house? All of a sudden, the demand for that goes way down. Jobs, migration, and supply and demand. Okay, you want to write this down if you're looking at being an investor in real estate or an investor in anything. You got supply, demand. You got supply and demand, yes, okay, that we talked about. The ability, you got jobs, and you got migration. And the reason I picked San Antonio is because San Antonio is going to benefit from some migration that's taking place in the country, and what I want to share with you today on how to protect yourself in this housing market. Okay, now I pull up San Antonio and I'm like, hey, can I buy a house in San Antonio? Average home in America is $350,000. First house I find in San Antonio, price cut $14,000 on February 25th, $309,000. Let's just do the math on this deal right here. Have no idea whether that's a good neighborhood. Okay, if this was a desirable house, they would not be cutting the price in this market. $309,000. It takes $60,000 to buy the house. $49,000 financed. Okay, and let's see what that's going to cost. $249 times the 5.0055 is $13,600. $13,700 a year. What is that? About $1,250 a month or so? Something, I don't know. $13,700. Let's see how close I am. Divided by 12 equals $1,141. Oops, $1,141 plus PMI. Okay, $1,141 plus taxes, plus insurance, plus maintenance, plus furniture, plus the roof, plus the paint, blah, blah, and blah, okay? $407,000, $350,000, $299,000, $357,000. Now, watch. This house is going to cost $1,141 a month. That's how people are going to pay for it. The person had to put $60,000 down. The $60,000, bang, wipes out 50% of San Antonio. Now, what is going to control that? What is this guy going to do if he cannot buy a home? He is going to rent down the street. His house payment right here. His house payment, and when you guys are deciding whether to buy a house this year, whether you're in San Francisco, San Antonio, it doesn't matter, Singapore. If you're going to buy a house, you have to compare what it costs to rent. And what do I get? What product do I get to rent? As importantly, if you're going to make a decision, if you live in Michigan or you live in Montana or you live in Boise, Idaho, or you live in Boston, dude, do I have people coming in and do I have jobs, okay? You need to add jobs and migration patterns to this process. Migration patterns, people coming in. We got this thing going on in the Ukraine right now. 1 week ago in Ukraine, kids were going to school in Kyiv, I think it's Kyiv, okay? Going to school, enjoying college, and yesterday they were making bombs this big on the side of the road because of what's going on over there. What's going to happen now is there's going to be this massive migration out of Ukraine. I think 500,000 people left cities in the Ukraine this week. 360,000 people. They're going to move to Poland. Poland will have an influx of people. Those people are going to live with other people that they know there. They're going to rent probably in the beginning. They're probably not going to be able to own a home for a while because they might have left all their money back in Ukraine. So these kind of migration patterns, forced migration patterns like happening there, are also happening in America. Okay, very, very important for you guys to consider migration patterns. That's what we do at Cardone Capital when we're buying real estate. Where are people moving? The best data that we have today is where people are moving is the most recent U.S. Census report. You could also look up moving.com, U-Haulers. All those people have great data. I've always used the U-Haul companies and the moving companies as great data. It shows overwhelming push towards states in the South and West, regions that have seen the largest growth rates in the country since, check this out, 2010. That's 12 years, man. This is the biggest push. According to the census, these are the states showing the highest population growth. Highest population growth. So you had 1 million people living there, and all of a sudden you had an increase. So a lot of times people look at percentages and they make a bigger deal of them than they think than they are. Utah population is up 18% in 12 years. Idaho population's up 17%. Now, Idaho, what I would look at with Idaho, how much of that happened in the last 24 months, because I'll bet you it's most of it. Texas, population's up 16%. Different number than Idaho, by the way. Population of Idaho is probably what, 1 million people?
Probably.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. Idaho population. So don't let all these headlines freak you out, because they don't all, 1.7 million people live in the entire state of Idaho. Okay, folks, we have 6 million people in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So when you have a 17, they're number 2 on the list, Idaho, 17%, 0.17 times 1.7. What do you have? You had 28,000 people moved to Idaho. Check this out, Texas population. It's third on the list with a 15%. 15% of Texas is going to be, 29 million people. Kind of a different number. This will be more population increase in the state of Texas on the same list with Texas behind Idaho. And I promise you, you'll have more people that have moved into the state of Texas than live in Utah, in Idaho. 435,000 people, a quarter. 435,000 people moved into Texas since in the last 12 years. Nevada, 14.9%. Colorado, 14.8%. Washington, state of Washington. They are benefiting from California's idiots. 14.58%. Florida population up 14.56%. Arizona, 11.88%. South Carolina. The states to remember: Nevada, Colorado, Texas, North Dakota. No, take North Dakota off that list. Florida, Arizona, South Carolina. The states to remember: Texas, Nevada, and I wouldn't invest there right now. I'm a little worried about it. Colorado, Florida, Arizona, South Carolina. Populations declining. These are places you'd probably want to not invest in, neither a house or a rental property. Illinois, Mississippi, West Virginia. These states had fewer residents in 2020 than in 2010. Not all real estate is created equal, folks. It lost 3% of its population in a decade, okay? This is Mississippi, West Virginia, Illinois. They're failing states. The 25 states that are seeing the most new residents, these are the 25 cities. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Sarasota, Florida. Fort Myers, listen to this list, Florida. Naples, Florida. Lakeland, Florida. Ocala, Florida. Daytona Beach, Florida. Port St. Lucie, Florida. Orlando, Florida. Melbourne, Florida. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of the first 10, I bought real estate in 9 of the first 10 cities that I've shared with you. This is from CoreLogic. Fort Collins, Colorado, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Austin, Texas, Boise, Idaho, Tampa, Florida, Salisbury, Maryland, Eugene, Oregon, Jacksonville, Florida, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Fayetteville, Arkansas. We're actually doing a deal in Arkansas right now. Las Vegas, Nevada, Charlotte, North Carolina, Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay? So, Florida takes the cake in terms of the state with the most popular cities. The state holds accounting for an impressive 11 of the 25 states that I just mentioned are in the great state of Florida. Okay? Now, here's 5 factors affecting the U.S. moving trends. There's lots of reasons why people move and why they choose a specific place they move to. But when you're talking about these larger moving trends, you can often spot some common threads that will dictate what places rank in the top. Florida, dude. What's Florida got to do with everything else? The climate, man. It's warm here. Okay? Might have something to do with the politics here. Could have something to do, if I were making stuff up, it's warm, it's sunny, it's where people go to retire. Maybe it's about people getting older. It could have something to do with the way some of these other states have responded to COVID and the insanity of the last 2 years, okay? So, what am I sharing this with you for and why? Because you need to know where to go, folks. Buying real estate, investing in real estate, buying a home could be the most important thing you do. You're trying to move closer to friends and family. You're looking to live somewhere else that's more affordable. We wonder why all these people are coming to Florida. Why is Grant Cardone willing to pay so much money for real estate right now? Because they come in, baby. Okay? Johnny, back to me, please. They come in, okay? They're coming and they're coming. So it goes like this. Jobs, migration. Because some of the people that are coming to Florida are not coming for jobs. They're just coming to live here. They've been doing that for 25 years, by the way. Meyer Lansky, who ran the mafia, who did all the finances for the mob back when the mob was the mob, he moved down to Florida. He wanted to live down here. That was 25, 30 years ago. Okay? We got jobs, we got migration, we have supply and demand. If you guys want to call me up about a deal that you're looking at, okay, supply and demand. And what else we got here? Can I buy it? Oh, yeah, ability. Can I buy it? If it's available, can I even purchase it? Who do you think made me an offer on my Golden Beach house? Unlisted home. We kind of put it out there that we might sell it. 2 of the 3 people that looked at it, one was from Silicon Valley, another guy's a hedge fund from New York, and they're like, yeah, I'll pay that. I'll pay for the house, man. Why? They want to move into something, okay? Jobs, migration, supply and demand. If you look at your market, do you have supply that's ready to be moved into? Done. Okay, you guys that are out there in the flipping space. Zillow got their head knocked off. Who's the other group? Front Door, is it Front Door, Green Door? Open Door. Open Door got freaking lost billions of dollars because they bought a bunch of homes they couldn't sell. Why? Because the homes are not ready to be sold. I want to move in. I want to put a fork, a knife, and a toothbrush in there, and I want to go. 305-865-8668 is our phone number, 305-865-8668. Every Monday I come to you to give you content, to give you information, hopefully inspiration, mostly education. And I hope that I'm giving you confidence to go out and make some money for yourself, your family, and make the right moves. When you're looking at real estate, folks, investing in real estate, or you're looking at investing in, you're going to become the next Jeff Bezos. Jeff was looking at jobs, migration. He was looking at how many people were migrating from books to libraries, from bookstores, from Barnes and Nobles to the internet. He was watching migration patterns. Where people go, money follows. People are going to leave Ukraine, they're going to go to Poland, and money's going to follow. Unfortunately, Poland's going to benefit from this. They relieve this thing, the people that went to Poland are going to go back to Ukraine, and they're going to live under the Russian ruler, Putin. And for all of you out there, I got a lot of friends out there, I've heard from people this weekend, hey guys, quit encouraging people to fight. Okay? This is so unbelievable how many Americans, man, we're pulling for Ukraine. Ukraine cannot win this war. Okay? It is impossible. All they're going to do is a bunch of people are going to get hurt and killed. This deck is stacked. The deck in life is stacked against most of us. Okay? So this is what makes America such a great place. You know, nobody would ever do this in America. Nobody would come from Mexico into our country and try to take it over. That's why the stock market went up last week. When it wanted to go down, it went up. Treasury bills went down this week. Why? Do you understand? Treasury bills were breaching almost 2.1% last week. And this week, I think they're at 1.8%. Why? Because money came from Europe straight to there. Supply, okay, demand went up. When demand went up, those prices went down because the treasury bills can be sold for less because they're more desirable to somebody in Europe or China or Japan. Like, I'll take 1.8, I'll take 1.7, I'll take 1.6, I'll take it because I would rather that than have the risk of having my money in Europe. Supply, demand, and migration. Supply, demand, and migration. You have to watch those three patterns, and then you got to look at ability. Do I have the ability? Supply, there's demand, okay? There's migration, people coming in, but hey, the people that come in don't have any ability, okay? Let's talk to our callers. If they can't pay, you can't win. You understand? So you got to put those three pieces together. If you're enjoying this channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have 2 million subscribers. I try to respond to all your comments during the week. If you like the show, please post below. If you like some other content, please let us know. If you don't like the show, please let me know. I love the hate.
Oh yeah, we got Ted in Albuquerque.
Man, great market, by the way. New Mexico has got some positive stuff going on. It's going to benefit from California. It's going to benefit from the flow over in Arizona. One of the states that's on the list is Arizona. Go ahead.
Hey, Grant. Yeah, I completely agree with you, but it's also led to some questions. So I actually got a property. I got a property for you to look at.
Okay.
This one's on CREXI.com.
Yeah, by the way, New Mexico's population's increased about 58,000, about 3% over the last decade. So, you know,
wow.
It's not a lot, it's a little bit. Okay, give me the property. What's the address?
The address, give me a second. Address is 3003 Transport Street, Southeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87106. And I got a 2014 build with a pool.
Okay. Is that called ABQ Apartments?
Yeah, it's called The View.
Yeah, good. The View, ABQ Apartments, yeah. Okay. The rents, listen to this, guys. The rents are $514 a month. Now, just so you know that, like that, you don't have that rent, and there's no $500 rents in Miami. Is there, Johnny?
No way.
Might be like that's one third of the rent.
Maybe that's a closet.
So the way, and the reason I also want some of your Chocolate Elite goodness on this is they specifically cater to college students. So they only rent out for semesters. Mm-hmm. Currently.
Okay.
We got 162 units, it looks like.
Is this your first real estate deal?
This is first one I'm looking into, to be honest with you. I'm kind of going 10X like you've been teaching.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like undercover billionaire, finding property, don't have the money, so.
Yeah. So look, man, I would not make a student deal my first deal. Because what happens is, do you have supply in the marketplace? Do you have demand for this? You know, how did this property do during COVID? Did people keep paying their rent? Or did they bail out and go back home to mommy and daddy?
Mommy, daddy.
Mommy,
okay.
Mommy. I would not make student housing my first real estate deal, folks. Okay, hope that helps.
So stay away from student housing.
Go find something basic, bro. Go find 8 units. What you're looking for is 8 units where you can raise the rents $400 a pop. You're looking for 8 units that are being rented for $500 and the rent should be $900. That's what you're looking for. Maybe 16 units. Preferably, I'd rather have you at 32 units. Remember the math on this, okay? So 8 units, if I could find 8 units, and I know the rents are $400 too low. Let's say the rents are $500 and you're like, hey, they should be $900 in that marketplace. But the seller, the guy that's renting the place, he hadn't moved. He doesn't care. So 8 times 4 is $3,200 a month times 12. That's $34,000 or something, 36,000, 3,200 times 12. It's $38,400, okay? And if you divide that by probably let's say $38,400 divided by a 6 cap, you just made yourself $640,000 because the next person can pay you $640,000 more money than you paid. And that's what I would look for. I wouldn't go take on some 137 unit student housing deal where you don't even know if the people are going to want to go to college next year. I don't even know why people go to college today, frankly. Johnny, when you learn how to use a camera, or when you learn how to drop Ustreams or YouTubes or the stuff that we do in here, okay? We got 2 million subscribers on YouTube. Did you learn any of that in your college?
Not at all. I learned all that here.
Yeah, did you go to college, Johnny?
I did.
You did?
I did.
What'd you go to college for?
I went for film and digital production.
Yeah. Did they teach you how to shoot this, Johnny? No, it didn't even exist.
It was
Did they teach you how to download a video to YouTube?
Not at all.
How to edit it?
No. How to edit? Yes.
On YouTube?
No.
No, exactly. Did they show you how to drop music onto the video?
No.
No.
They taught me how to mix some sound and stuff like that.
Yeah, look, most of this technology didn't exist. You don't need to learn any of that stuff today, because all you got to do is go on Instagram. It'll show you how to drop your music in for free, by the way.
So about my college, like, I learned how to film on a film camera, something that's like antique and never used today. So
yeah,
it's like,
one of those. Did you have a little
wind up one? Yeah.
Were you doing black and white, Johnny?
I was doing.
Did you meet Charlie Chaplin personally?
I didn't, but I tried to be like him.
Next caller.
Right, we got Dennis in SoCal.
Dennis in the Southern Cal, man. Great rental market over there. What's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, I got a question regarding the housing bubble, as well as kind of last week about the interest rates.
Okay.
I got a couple investment properties, just single-family houses here that I built back houses in. They're doing about the same amount of revenue. My payments are about the same. But I got one of them on a 40-year fixed interest rate, 10-year interest-only payment.
Yeah.
And the other on a 30-year. So I enjoy the cash flow, but I'm kind of afraid, in like 10 years, I'm missing out on all that pay-down equity.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to hurt me in the long run? Or?
This is a great question, okay? This is a great question. So repeat your question again so the audience can understand what you're saying. You have some of your debt on a 10-year interest only, meaning you do not pay down the principal. Yeah.
It's a 40-year loan, but yeah, first 10 years is interest only.
Okay, good. And how much do you owe on that 40-year loan?
I owe about $650.
Okay, good. So in 10 years from now, so the audience can understand this, in 10 years or 9 years, whenever this loan expires, he will still owe $650. Compared to his other loan, tell me about your other loans.
So the other loan, I owe $490.
Yep.
The payment is the same. But in 10 years, I'll have 10 years of pay down.
Yeah. So you're going to be making a payment every month that's going to pay down the interest, pay for the interest like the other loan, and probably pay about 1.5% of the loan. Now I'm just going to, this isn't going to be exactly right, but I'm going to say in 10 years, he will have paid off 490 times 85% times 0.85. You see, in 10 years, he will owe $416 on a $490,000 loan. On the other loan, he's still going to owe the $650. I'm going to tell you, I would take the interest only, though. Because the reason I would, man, is because hopefully 10 years from now, is it good real estate?
Oh, yeah. It's cash flowing. I mean, I feel like that's the only way to make money here in Southern California. You buy the single family home, and then you build the back house, and it doubles your revenue.
Right. So the old adage, the old belief was, hey, I want 10 years from now, I want my house paid for. I'm like, dude, I don't want my house paid for. I want my house to be worth more money. Right. So if you pick good real estate, both of these will be worth more money. Hopefully the inflation, okay, he's got a loan on a house for $650 or a piece of property for $650. 10 years from now, he will still owe $650. Okay, the goal is not to pay that off. The goal is that the house would be worth $1,650,000. That's where you make the money. His other loan is $419. I think that's what you said.
$490 currently.
$490. He's gonna owe $416. So he paid down $84,000. By the way, that is not tax deductible. The $84,000 pay down is not a tax deduction, or the $74,000. It benefits him in no way except he owes $74,000 less money. The goal is for that one to be worth $4.9 million. The money that is made is in the cash flow and the appreciation, not the pay down of the debt. I don't need to pay my debt down. That's Dave Ramsey's thing. I want to get to zero. Why, bro? Why you want to get to zero? Because I don't want to pay the bank. Okay, I'm not paying for this anyway. The renters are paying for this property. You don't need to pay it down. You need to keep adding debt to it. So that the goal...
That's kind of my goal too.
Yeah.
Because, I plan on just keep harvesting the money as I can.
Exactly.
So
you just keep grabbing cash flow, bro. Don't worry about paying this thing off. You need to worry about getting great real estate. That's why I always tell you guys, get great real estate that's going to go up in value. This can go up faster than you can pay that down.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, because look, check it out. If he could pay it down in 10 years, these two loans in 10 years, he would have to pay 10% of the value of the property times 10 to pay 100% of the debt off, okay? This property can easily go up 100%. From 650 to 1.3 million in the next 10 years. I don't want to pay it down. I want it to go up. It's like my expenses and my income. Then that's why we do this show every week, okay? You cannot get away from real estate, folks, any more than you get away from food and water. You can also not get away from this basic fact. You can take your income. I can take my income as high as I can imagine my income. And as hard as I'm willing to work, I can take my income. My expenses, no matter how much imagination and no matter how hard I work, I can only take my expenses to zero. You could be a David Copperfield and
Chris Angel, the mind freak.
Yeah, Chris Angel, terrible, worst freaking magic act in Las Vegas in the history of magic. You could be a freaking magician and you still cannot get your expenses below zero. With a little bit of imagination and a lot of hard work and some discipline and some good people, you could take your income to any number you want to. Same thing with debt, okay? You can take the rent up, you can take the appreciation of the property up, you can improve the value of the property, you can only take the debt down to zero. And I don't need to take my debt to zero. I need to take my income up, not my expenses down, okay? Do I need to be frugal? Sure. I don't need to go out and spend money on watches and cars and junk and even buying a house in the beginning. I shouldn't buy a house. I should buy an investment property in the beginning that pays me, that cash flows to me and my family. Okay? Next caller.
All right, we got Richie in Montana.
And Richie, you're on the list, bro. You're on the list of people moving from California to Montana. Are you seeing people move in? I think Kanye moved over there. Kanye and what's her name?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that. So that was my question, Grant. Two things actually. I got 10x for the HVAC space because my partner and I are in that.
Oh, good.
Thanks. We're gonna be checking that out tonight. Just came yesterday. Secondly, so yeah, we are in Missoula, Montana, and we're feeling this crunch just about as much as every big city across the nation, man. I mean, they're coming in droves. It's driving our housing market crazy through the roof. But my question really, Grant, is I'm in about a $500,000 house now. I've been renting for a bit after my dad passed away. I kind of hit a brick wall, sold my company. I'm looking to make this possibly my first real estate deal. We've been there long enough to have a first right of refusal. But now I'm scared with what the value is now versus me getting into this loan. If the bottom drops out, what does that look like for me?
Yeah.
And in theory, I want to make this a rental property. I want to be able to get in, make this a rental, and start my portfolio. I'm just looking at it's worth $500,000, maybe a little over today. Is that going to drop out in 2 years, and I'm going to be stuck holding the bag, or what does that look like?
Yeah. So look, here's my problem with where you live. Okay, and this is the supply demand migration, the jobs. Okay, you probably don't have a lot of supply housing there. I'm just guessing. I don't know a lot. Huh?
No, absolutely not.
Zero.
We've got guys on
So-
list. Yeah, we got 50 people on a list for one place.
Yeah.
Places are selling in 24 hours.
Okay, so watch what happens. Okay, so supply, we got supply. He's going to check the box off. 0 supply. That's actually not good, right? So what does that do? A builder's going to come in and say, hey, there's no supply in Montana, 50 people. We're going to come build homes, okay, because we know there's demand. Okay, now the problem with Montana, Kanye and Kim went and bought a house there. They went through a couple winters there, and then they had a divorce, and then they're going to be like, we're going to sell the house. They're not going to stay on that ranch, probably, okay? The same thing that concerns me, yes, you have demand, but is it permanent demand or is it temporary demand? Is it just a spike in demand because people are moving out of the state of California? I want to ask you this question. If California had a sane politician come in and run the state and say, you know what, guys? We've tried increasing state taxes. We're going to take them down now. We're going to try and experiment. We're going to take our state taxes from the threatening, going from 13 to 17, we're going to take them down to 9%.
People are going back there.
Bro, you're going to have people leave Montana like they're going to leave their shit on the side of the road.
Yeah, bro, in buses. They're renting buses, getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, it'd be like, I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here.
But that's the thing, is all us come smaller, and I say smaller, guys, because I'm not on that level yet. I will be at your level someday. That's my life mission.
And you can be.
But I can tell you, man, I see that, and that's what worries me. Do I wait? Do I wait this out? I mean, look, you're going to shit when I tell you I only pay $1,500 a month on said property. Even when the boom came, I'm renting from the owner direct. He didn't up my price. I think he upped me $50. That's it. You know, and now I look at a guy across the street from me, my age, moved into a like house for $2,600 a month. So I'm like, fuck, I'm right in a good spot. How do I time this right to where, hey, I can buy this property when it's good and stay good?
Yeah, so look, what I would do if I was in Montana right now, I'd be looking at being a flipper, not a holder. So
Right.
I would crack somebody. I'd be looking for the opportunity. Opportunities, sometimes they come and they go, right? I think this is a temporary spike, a city that will not, a state that will not benefit long-term from migration. It could, but maybe I'm completely wrong, by the way. I'm willing and happy to be wrong. I've been wrong most of my life. You got supply issues. You have demand. You can check that box off. You probably got some migration coming in from California. Yes, definitely, but not a lot. Like if you look at the numbers, since 2019, it hadn't really been like some stupid amount of numbers. You're not on any list.
No. But
city,
we're feeling the crunch, and that's why I wanted to jump on and talk about Montana, because I know, being a fourth biggest state, we still get passed over a lot. We trend to last on everything.
Yeah. Let me read the cities to you again, okay? Utah, Idaho, Texas, Nevada, Colorado, Florida, Arizona. Montana's not on the top 10 list, okay? Cities, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Sarasota, Fort Myers, Naples, Lakeland, Ocala, Daytona, Port St. Lucie, Orlando, Melbourne, all those are Florida. Every one of those is Florida except for the first one. And Myrtle Beach is about that big. So you guys that are out there, you guys that are young, everybody, I'm talking to you guys without families. You don't have a family yet. You're under 35 years old. You don't have a family. You hadn't settled down. You don't have a job with Google. Google doesn't have you as a slave. You're not in a hedge fund in New York, Goldman Sachs. Even Goldman Sachs is coming down here. Goldman, JP Morgan, they're all coming down here to avoid taxes. That's the other thing. This tax thing is real, folks. And states that don't bang their populace with state income taxes benefits the owners, okay? The people that live there are benefiting. They have more money left over to actually improve the quality of their life. So you guys that are able to move, you guys in the 50 above category, you're 45 years old, 50 years old, 55, you got a little money saved, you got your house paid for, sell your damn home in Illinois, sell it, grab the dough, and move to these states where there's positive migration. Arizona, New Mexico, the Carolinas, both of them are working. Georgia, Alabama, okay? The Destin, what's that called down there? the beach, the Panama City Beach, Florida, Tampa, Orlando, Daytona, Melbourne, St. Lucie, all the way down the coast, Palm Beach, Miami. It will continue to benefit. Naples, Florida, Fort Myers, that whole coast on the other side of Florida is absolutely gorgeous. And I was just in LA the other day. I was in LA, I was at Malibu, coming back. I'm working on a project over there, came back here to Miami. I'm like, this place is unbelievable. We complain about traffic here. It's still half of what it is in California. Go ahead, Johnny, next caller.
All right, we got Adam in Virginia.
Adam, how you doing, my friend?
Alrighty, he's on.
Hey, Johnny, and then I want to show everybody the 10-year Treasury over the weekend. I've been saying this about interest rates. Okay, you guys can see this thing collapsing. Okay, that's in 5 days. That's the last 5 days, the 10-year Treasury. Now, if I take the last month, watch what happens. It looks like it's going up. Okay, they're threatening with higher interest rates. Higher interest rates affect everything. I've been saying for a long time, everybody's like, the interest rates are going up. I said, no, they ain't going to go up. They're going to go down. This weekend, I was right because of what's going on in Ukraine. Flight to quality, folks, supply and demand, okay? When there's more demand, prices are going to go up. This looks like the prices are going down. The interest rate's going down, the value of that treasury is going up.
All right,
okay, go ahead.
We got Adam in Virginia.
Adam, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, Uncle Grant. How you doing?
Let's go, bro. It's Uncle G. It ain't Uncle Grant, man. You got to say it right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
So, Uncle G, I just wanted to ask, so I'm a first-time home buyer, and I'm looking out here in this Washington, D.C. area for a home. And while I'm dealing with fixing a lot of personal credit and debt issues and whatnot, I need to have like 2 years at my job since I'm technically commissioned.
Hey, Adam, are you on
How do I
speaker or
think
something?
about
We can
buying
barely
a
hear you,
house
man.
in this expensive market while I'm waiting for 2 years? What are some things I can do to prepare, or is there a loan option, or is there something else I can do to think about this?
Yeah, I'm having trouble understanding. Hey, Adam, I'm having trouble understanding you right now. I think you're trying to, in D.C., I think you're in D.C., and I didn't quite get the question. So, folks, today we're talking about the housing bubble, beware, and what you need to do, okay? What you need to do is, I'm telling you right here and right now, we do not have a housing bubble in this country. In most parts of the country, you can find places in this country where prices will continue to get higher, folks. We do not have supply in this country. There's no supply. We have a shortage of homes in America. We have extreme high demand for a place to live in some places. Okay, if you go to GrantCardoneTV.com or GCTV.com, you'll see this entire write-up on today's show and where you need to be thinking about moving your family to. These migration patterns have nothing to do with where you want to live. It's where people want to live, other people. If you want to be by yourself, stay in Flint, Michigan. Okay? The multifamily used to dominate in Illinois. It is losing traction there. There are cities and states that are going to be losers going forward. Utah, Idaho, Texas, North Dakota, Nevada, Colorado, Washington, Florida, Arizona, South Carolina, all benefited from population growth. When people move someplace, what's the first thing they do? Everyday ordinary people rent for 2 years, almost 2 years before they buy a house. You are not too late in the cycle. The 25 U.S. cities that are seeing the most residents, 10 of the top 12 are Florida cities. Scottsdale, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, Mesa, Arizona, all are going to benefit. Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Austin, Texas, San Antonio will be beneficiaries of these moves. Carolinas, almost anything in the Carolinas, the Raleighs, the Durhams, they're going to benefit. Georgia will benefit. Savannah will benefit. Alabama, places and pockets of Alabama are going to do unbelievable. Think about moving your family. Think about investing in those markets. Think about getting cash flow. And don't let anybody talk you out of it because they're like, oh, housing's too expensive. You cannot buy your daddy's house for what your daddy paid for it. oh my God, if I would have done that. No, you would have bought the whole neighborhood. If you knew what you know now, you wouldn't have bought your grandpa's house. You'd have bought the whole neighborhood and sat on it and let it cash flow. Okay? And cash flow is the holy grail. Cardone Capital, we invest in properties that cash flow. We're doing a deal right now. It's going to cash flow 3.2% in year one. And people are like, how can you buy that deal? Because I know that deal, the rents are being raised by $500 to $1,000 on let me just see how many I got here. 346 units, and the rents are going up $500 to $1,000. The seller knows that's happening too. Okay, now, 5 years ago, if that property was there then and it wasn't, if it would have been built then, I probably would have earned 5 or 6%. But that would have been 5 years ago, you were earning 5 or 6%. That 5 or 6% doesn't exist anymore. Why? Because you got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people moving into Miami today that were not moving here 5 years ago. You have COVID that happened. You have Florida that benefited. You have positive migration. You got JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs moving down here. Tech companies are moving down here. You got people in tech buying apartments as investments down here right now. Facebook was down here. Zuckerberg and his boys are out here buying apartment buildings in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Tremendous growth going on in this town. So you can't expect to have a 3% growth when you got more demand for the activity and more people willing to put money here. Also, the last thing I'll say is this, okay? 5 years ago, you could probably earn, 3% on your money at the bank. Today, you earn 0. Supply and demand, folks. Supply, demand, and the ability to purchase something. When people come to this town today, they're paying $800,000, $1.5 million for a home, and you're not on the water. You want to be on the water? It's $4 million. And it's an old home, 25 years old, low ceilings, bunch of heavy furniture in the place. Are you selling it furnished? Please, we will definitely sell it furnished because I don't want to take my furniture to the trash. My name's Grant Cardone. This show every Monday, Cardone Zone, we come to you live. If you hadn't subscribed, please hit the little bell so you get notified when we come on. We give stuff away all the time on this channel. We got great stuff happening. By the way, 10X Growth Conference. If you want to grab a seat at that conference, I'm going to show you right now how to do that for free. 10X Growth Conference, the largest business conference in the world, completely sold out. I'll send you the virtual link.
GrantCardone.com/virtual.
GrantCardone.com/virtual. You'll be able to watch on your phone, your tablet, or your computer. If you can't watch the entire 3 days live, you can keep the recording. This is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to bill your card for $97. $97, you get all 3 days, and you get to keep the recording. And I'm going to give you a $97 credit at my store to use against any of our other products, okay? GrantCardone.com/virtual. Make sure that's up, Johnny, so they can do that.
Gotcha.
I'm going to bang your card for $97. I'm going to give you the 3-day conference. I'm going to let you keep it so you and your family can rewatch it. And then I'm going to give you a $97 credit at my store. That's good for today and today only. Or if you watch this tomorrow, it'll be for tomorrow and tomorrow only. Thanks for watching. Grant Cardone, I'm out.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues. Told him that I gotta go, dog. I'm riding the road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when he throwing the fastball. Just too quick for it, peeling off like the whip orange. Seen they effort, this piss poor. I got too much, I gotta tend to. Car payments and the rent due. Told y'all that I'm 6 foot, but with the money stabbing, I'm 10-2. Too much that I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip, got old problems with the friends new. Yeah, I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston.